Hello everyone and welcome back to Canadian King Coins. In today's video I'll be giving you the history of the Canadian 25-cent coin, more commonly referred to as the quarter. In 1858, when the province of Canada began its decimal coinage, it decided to issue a 20-cent coin to match better with the English shilling, but this quickly became unpopular because of the ease of confusion with American quarters. Soon after Canadian Confederation in 1867, the Government of Canada began issuing its first coinage in 1870. And the 25-cent piece was chosen rather than the 20-cent piece. Over the next few years, most of the 20-cent pieces were withdrawn from circulation and melted down, leaving them very rare and expensive today, which is why I don't have an example here. The new coin was made to be similar to the American quarter. It was 92.5% silver, had a diameter of 23.27 millimeters, had a weight of 4.67 grams, and featured the older diademed portrait of Queen Victoria on the reverse. This 1900 quarter is the only Victorian date I have. In 1901, Queen Victoria died, and her son was crowned King Edward VII, and would first appear on our coins in 1902. As on all of Canada's silver coinage of 1902, the word Canada was moved from the obverse to the reverse legend, and St. Edward's crown was switched out for the more current imperial state crown. This design would not change until after King Edward VII's death in 1910, and the new king, George V, first appeared on our coins in 1911. The reverse remained identical to the Edward VII series, except for the change to 80% silver in 1920. The coin would remain the same until King George V's death in 1936. After King George V's death, King Edward VIII was then crowned, but would abdicate before the year was out. So the 1937 coinage featured his brother, now King George VI. Also for the 1937 coins, a government decision was made to modernize the reverse designs. The caribou design by Emmanuel Hahn was chosen for the 25-cent coin. In February 1952, King George VI succumbed to a long battle with lung cancer, and so his daughter became Queen Elizabeth II, and would first appear on the 1953 coins. Her first portrait shows her at age 27, and is known as the Laurite or young head portrait. In 1965, her portrait was updated, now showing her at age 39 and wearing a tiara. In 1967, all Canadian coins had special reverses to celebrate the centennial of Canadian Confederation. The quarter featured a bobcat designed by renowned Canadian artist Alex Colville. Partway through this year, the composition was also changed to 50% silver from 80% silver. In 1968, the caribou design resumed. Partway through this year, the composition was changed from 50% silver to pure nickel. For comparison, I have the silver version on the left and the nickel version on the right. If you have a 1968 quarter, or even a dime, and you want to know if it's silver or not, the best way to tell is with a magnet, as nickel is magnetic while silver is not. The quarter would not change again until 1990. When the Queen's portrait was again updated, now showing her at age 64 and wearing a crown. In 2001, the composition was changed again, this time to nickel-plated steel to save on production costs. In 2003, the Queen's portrait was again updated, now showing her at age 77. This uncrowned portrait was introduced to mark the 50th anniversary of the Queen's coronation in 1953, and the quarter has remained almost unchanged ever since. Now, of course, I skipped over the countless commemorative quarters issued over the years. There are simply too many to cover in this video, and I'm planning on doing a separate video covering these at a later date. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video on the great history of the Canadian 25-cent coin, which has changed very little over its 148 years and counting lifespan. If you'd like to learn more about the history of Canadian coins, check out my other videos on my channel, and consider subscribing for more in the future. And as always, have a great day.